As our film is a thriller genre, we decided to stick to the codes and conventions of the genre. We felt that challenging this was beyond our capability at this point, as firstly, the equipment available to us was of a limited standard. Such items as cranes or clear audio equipment were not available for our use, as we had a budget. Secondly, as we are still exploring these genres ourselves, we thought it best to try and portray them using classic codes and conventions to produce a piece of film with a clear genre. By setting our drowning scene in the rain, we stuck to thriller codes and conventions, as this is often used to emphasise the tragedy, which was also reinforced by the slowing in motion during the clips of the girl in the water.
Classification of the characters within the film, the only character we feel was stereotyped was the boy in the black hood, as we needed to make it quickly clear that he was the antagonist of the film, as he is the only one shown briefly. However, editorial changes of the home video clips of brightening the picture helped to create the classic image of innocence. We felt that we have challenged the stereotypical representation of the father figure, as he is clearly seen showing his emotional weakness as he cries, opposing the view that he is supposed to be strong, ultimately creating an enigma.
Although this is a movie opening, we feel that it may be more suitable as a TV drama series, as the narrative works backwards to explain events partly seen during the opening. We would envisage this to be shown as a running drama series on the BBC after 7 p.m, as our target audience would be older. However, if we were to give the film an age certificate, it would be a 12A, as it includes little vulgarity, violence, or scenes of a sexual nature.
Our target audience would be a mix of gender, as it is not specifically aimed at men or women in terms of content or storyline. We would target people from 18 years and above, as we feel that this would appreciate the nature of the film and may be more susceptible to emotional impact and understanding of the storyline attachment between a parent and a child.
We hoped that the home videos would form an attachment between the audience and the child, seeing her in her most innocent form, as people tend to feel sympathy for those who are powerless to protect themselves. We also hoped that the controversial situation of what is being said and what is being seen within the film would grab the audience's interest and make them want to find out the real reason behind the disaster seen in the opening. Getting used to saving work on a blog was a new process for us and took a while for us to get used to regularly updating it with our thoughts and ideas. At times, our work did not save, so we copied any new work to a Word document so we would not lose any work previous. When using the iMacs, again, we had not used a Mac computer before, and it took a while to find how to use each tool on the editor in the most effective possible way. We found when inputting titles, the colour of our chosen font was not pronounced enough to read clearly, in contrast with the background image. This took some time to find how to reposition them in an effective way, however we did not find a way to do this perfectly. With the camera, both of us found that we already knew how to use these, as we had had fairly simple experiences with them before, and most of our footage was fairly still. We tried to create even lighting during the interview scene by using a whiteboard to reflect light and avoid shadows, which appeared to be effective in the clips. Continuity of both sound and image came into play when developing a film schedule. We were aware of the weather type we wanted, which meant filming the outdoor scenes at spontaneous moments when it rained. This almost made filming harder as conditions were wet and protection of equipment from damage was of a high priority. The amount of rain varied throughout our filming, which meant long waits for both us and the actors, also creating difficulties for the continuity of costume and makeup. As a health and safety precaution, we had a qualified lifeguard present in case of any emergencies. However, staging these clips in a river in February with extremely low temperatures meant this filming had to be done as quickly but effectively as possible to avoid any harm on the actor.
It's better to have too much film than just enough, and there may be issues when editing. Bloggers also proved to be very useful to help us explore many ideas and to develop our chosen ideas further rather than sticking to the original plan. By logging our ideas and development, we were able to create a clear idea of how, when, who and what we had to film in order to make effective use of our time. Although our preliminary task brief was simplified in comparison to our main task brief, it gave us specific points to include, such as match reenactment shots and showing our use of 180-degree rule. With our main task, we left to construct a storyline given no specific aspects to include, making it a much harder task as we had no base to start. From our preliminary task, we learned that the angle of the camera has a big impact on the effects of the shot. This meant when filming our main task, we tried and tested some shots prior to filming days, so we knew which angles would look best.
Some of our transitions in our preliminary task were too quick, leaving actors looking static and not allowing the conversation to flow. However, this was not such an issue in our main task, as we used little conversation, but continuity of the interview scene needed a lot of work when editing to create the most effective gaps.